Hello, guys. Thanks so much for jumping on to this quick event. My name is Danielle Brown, and I've been a consultant with Rodan and Fields for 6.5 years now. So tonight, what we're going to be doing is me and four of my other business partners and good friends. We're all going to be on here sharing a little bit about our story, our favorite products, and sharing with you how we got into this business, why we said yes despite the obstacles and objections that we had. So I hope this is helpful just to kind of help you with where you're at. And just know that if you have any questions, make sure to contact the consultant who invited you and get with them, because they obviously thought enough about you to invite you to this event. So I hope you really enjoy it and get a lot of helpful information out of it. So just to kind of set the stage for you in case you're unfamiliar with Rodan and Fields, I'll tell you just a brief little bit about the company and the products. So Rodan and Fields, Dr. Rodan and Dr. Fields, they're actually the proactive doctors. So they came out with Proactive long time ago, and now this is their sole focus as a company. We've been around for 11 years. And so really what their hope with this business was not only to help people with overcoming their skin concerns that they were seeing in their dermatological practice, but also to empower women to become business entrepreneurs themselves, which I think is so neat. And they just have such great hearts. And really the premise behind these products that makes them different than any others: one, they're created by dermatologists. Two, they have clinical studies backing them up. And three, they come with a 60-day money-back guarantee. So you will be hard-pressed to find anything else on the market that has those three guarantees behind it. So now you know a little bit about it, and I will say that the other thing about the products is it's a multi-med therapy, is what makes the products actually different from other ones, which all that means is it's the right ingredients used in the right formulations in the right order. So that's what really allows it to work and give you actual visible results over time. So first up, I'm going to introduce my friend Brenda, and Brenda is actually my friend who introduced me to these products and this business when I was only 23 years old in Nashville, and we went to church together. So she's going to share a little bit about her story and a couple of products that she really enjoys.
Okay. Yeah, she was a baby when she got started. So she's grown up a lot since then, but I am tickled to death that she is part of my team, business partner and friend. So thank you, Danielle. My name is Brenda Collins. I am from Nashville, Tennessee. I am a retired educator. I am a mom of two boys. They're grown with two beautiful daughter-in-laws and two granddaughters and a new grandson on the way in January. And I have been married for 40 years. So lots of things happen in my life. But I have been with Rodan and Fields for 10 years. And I really didn't know very much about Rodan and Fields 10 years ago because it was a pretty new company. But my friends introduced it to me, and I was very curious about the company and the products. So I listened to what they had to say, and why I said yes to this company was because two things. One, I was very interested in choosing some products for me to help with my skincare issues. And I was 51, almost 52, when I started in this business, and I had really not taken care of my skin. And so that was one thing that enticed me, was the fact that the products had good reputation. And I thought, well, I need to be looking at something good for my skin by this time, because I had lots of sun damage. And I'll tell you a little bit more about those products in a few minutes that I chose. The other reason I said yes to this company is that I was edging towards the close to retiring. I had been in the education field for over 30 years. And somewhere in the back of my mind, I was looking for something that really would complement me as I went into my retirement. And I needed something flexible with residual income that I could work around my schedule. So those were kind of two main reasons that I opted to say yes to this business. And I'm very blessed that I did, because now I have the time, freedom to actually spend more time with my family, to go see my grandchildren in Wisconsin. I have travel time. This is a supplement to my retirement. and I get to choose, how I can do this business around it. One of the obstacles that kind of came for me at that time is I was working 40 plus hours. There lots of people have questions like, that there are obstacles as to why they might or might not do this business. And so we like to share those with you. And my biggest obstacle was I just don't have enough time. I'm too busy. But at the same time, I knew the advantages of picking up with a company like this. So I think for me, I was concerned that I was working 40 plus hours. And maybe when I retired, I was going to be able to do this better, but how was I going to do it now? And I just learned that through my business partners that were able to help me figure it out, that I could work this around my schedule, whatever that looked like. And I learned how to do some lifestyle marketing, which was just incorporating this business into my everyday life, talking to people at Starbucks or my friends or at the ball field or wherever. And so that was very helpful. And then I also learned that I could take bits and pieces of my schedule and choose what worked for me. And everybody's schedule's different. So that was a blessing to me to realize, hey, I can make this work around my 40 plus hours. And then when I did retire, I realized that that was going to be even more flexible for me because I could put a little more time into it if I wanted to. So those things have been huge for me and why I've said yes to this company. So I want to share a little bit about my favorite products. And the reason I've chosen these products, and I'm going to do my best to show you pieces of them, but I have a skin condition called vitiligo. And since 45, I've been losing some of that pigmentation. And so those of you that have hyperpigmentation and have a lot of sun damage and melasma and things like that, it's hard to get that evened out. And so I started with the reverse regimen, which I am going to just give you little parts of it. This is the wash, which is an exfoliating wash. This is the toner, which is a skin lightening toner, which has some hydroquinone in it, which helps to get lighten those dark spots and even it out. And then there's a skin lightening treatment that follows that. And then last of all is the sunscreen, which I love this sunscreen. It's 50 SPF and it's very protective. And so this particular regimen, I was able to start with and start cleaning up the dark spots and the sun damage. So if that's an issue for you, that would be very helpful. Then there's also added years later, you take the same regimen with the wash and the sunscreen, and you can have, there's a brightening. So let's say your skin's not quite so much damage as much as it is just that you've lost the glow, and you need some also repairing to your anti-aging and getting those fine lines and wrinkles back. You can replace the two middle ones that I showed you for lightening, and we have a vitamin C and a retinol that takes the place of that, which is great. There's a brightening toner, and then these two items mixed together really work on your fine lines and wrinkles, as well as plumping the skin back up and putting some vitamin C to give the glow back. The other regimen that has been helpful is the Redefine, and I kind of mix these up. I've used them at different times, but this as a daily cleansing mask. This is strictly for fine lines and wrinkles. There's a toner for pore minimizing, and then you have the AM day cream and then the night cream, which I don't have the night cream with me, but those four are great. But again, that's your anti-aging line. And like I said, I've kind of used different ones of these along the way, but these are probably my favorite. And they're all applicable to anybody of any age and any gender. So hope that's a little helpful. That's a little bit of my why and why I got into the business and the great products that I love. And I am blessed to be part of this business.
That is awesome. Thanks so much, Brenda. And I'll just kind of add on to what Brenda said about the timing. I feel like that is literally everybody's concern before they come into this business. Because, I mean, bottom line, everybody's busy, you guys. I mean, there's nobody who just does this business because they have a ton of free time. But I think the thing that's great is we don't have to keep up with inventory, and this is not a party-driven business. So you don't have to worry about taking time out to go to meetings and these types of things. You can do those things if you want, but you don't have to. And the other part, trying to fit it in around your busy schedule, there are women who I know that are way busier than I am, am, and they may work like 80-hour plus weeks being lawyers, or people who have 5 kids and homeschool. But the truth is, it's all about finding little pockets of time. And that's what I love, is that our community, like, we come around new consultants and we show them, hey, here's how you can find those pockets of time to work your business. Just making calls to share with people and sending text messages. And obviously we have events too, just to see each other as well. So just to add on to that, and now I'll introduce Morgan. Morgan and I, we actually met through Facebook, which is so funny. We're a Facebook love story, but she's going to share with you a little bit about how she came to learn about the business and why she said yes, and a couple of her favorite products.
Yeah, thanks, Danielle. So yeah, Danielle and I met on Facebook, and it was just perfect timing. My husband and I had been married for about 3 years. And about that time, I had come off of my hormonal birth control. And if you've ever been on hormonal birth control or tried to come off of it, you know that a lot of times there's weight gain and acne. And so those two things, you know, the acne just kind of took over, and I had not had any acne for 3 years. And all of a sudden, I looked like I was a 15-year-old. So I called Danielle. She had shared with me previously, but I didn't really have much of a need for it. And so I called her and I was like, hey girl, I need whatever you got. And so she hooked me up with some Unblemish, and from there it's just history. I fell in love with the product really, really quickly. I started to see results very fast, and within 6 months, all of my hormonal cystic acne was gone, and I was asking her about the business. And so, you know, I've owned a photography business for about 8 years now. I started that when I was a teenager, but I had never really considered any kind of direct sales. My grandmother, my mother, and my mom, my grandmother, my mother, and my sister all do it. So we're technically 3rd generation direct sales, which is kind of crazy. I just never really considered it for myself. And so, you know, I started kind of talking to Danielle, and I just realized that if I was going to love these products so much, I was going to share them anyways. And why should I send them, my friends, to Danielle for her to make money? Might as well send them to myself to make money, right? So, you know, I just started with really just sharing with people who were showing concerns around me. You know, as girls, we're always talking about what shampoo you use, what skincare you use. And so it was just easy for me to share. And so, you know, I guess some of my bigger hangups, of course, was time, but I think Brenda addressed that. But also just, I didn't want to be salesy. I didn't want to be pushy. I didn't want to be somebody who felt like I was just trying to push this onto my friends. And I have realized over the 2.5 years I've been doing this, that is not at all what it is like. I never considered myself, I wasn't a girly girl. I played softball growing up. I'm still not a girly girl. I don't have makeup on. My hair's in a bun right now. Okay. So I'm not a girly girl, and I've never considered myself a skincare guru by any means, but I know that these products work. I've seen them work for all of my friends and family, and I've seen the science behind it, and the doctor's drive to constantly be producing new things, better things, market disrupting, industry disrupting things. And so I know it works, and I believe in it, and I just share it with people. And it's just that simple. I share my dry shampoo that I use, and I share the pediatrician that I take my child to, and I share everything else. Why not share my skincare with my friends and family? So, you know, I don't see it as something that you have to be salesy or pushy or anything like that. You just share. It's just that simple. You see somebody post on Facebook like, oh my gosh, my skin is so dry. What do I do? Hey, you've got a solution for that, right? So I'm going to talk about 3 regimens really briefly. And so the first one is the Soothe regimen, which is our green line. It's easy to remember them by their colors, so I love that they do that. The green Soothe regimen is for redness and irritability, and I use it. I'm probably a little rosy right now. I'm always rosy, but I use the Soothe regimen very frequently. If I'm not using a blemish, I use Soothe. But it builds up your skin's barrier to support the resiliency of your skin. There are optical fillers in it that neutralize the redness. So people see reduction in redness immediately, and over 8 weeks time. I mean, it's ridiculous how much difference you will see. Your skin feels stronger. And then it allows you, once you use this, if you do have redness or irritability, this allows you to move on to other regimens that you may not have been able to do before. So I absolutely love our Soothe regimen. I use it anytime I get sunburned or anytime my nieces get sunburned. We love our Soothe. And then Unblemished regimen is the purple line, and it is for acne, adult acne. So this is a 4-step regimen that's designed specifically for adult acne. I have some statistics here, but in 8 weeks, 94% people saw less acne and 97% were less oily. So this stuff works. It's proven over time and time again. And then 97% noticed more smoothness as well with the Unblemished regimen. For me, I have, like I said, cystic acne all here on my chin strap line, my jawline, and just acne on my forehead, and it just took it away. And now it's not perfect. I still get hormonal acne every once in a while, but this definitely helps keep it at bay. And just this year, we have come out with Spotless regimen, which I don't have one of those because I use the Unblemished, but this is more geared for teens and young adults, and it's only 2 steps, so it's much easier for them to remember to do. But it targets specifically that young adult acne. It is in one day, 87% of people in one day, one use, they experienced an improvement in size and redness of their acne. And then over a 1 week course of time using the Spotless regimen, 100% of people saw improvement in redness and size of their acne. So like I said, the science just speaks for itself. The clinical studies speak for themselves, and these products are just great.
All right. Thanks, Morgan. I appreciate it, girl. And just to piggyback also on what Morgan said about being a salesperson, I think that is another one of the biggest concerns people have, because I mean, nobody wants to feel icky and pushy around their family and friends. But the good thing is you have people here that are going to help you and teach you how to share genuinely with people. And that's literally all it is. It's just sharing something that you love, that you know can help people and make a change in their life, and a business that can change their life too. So I'm going to move on and introduce Lark. And Lark's going to share a little bit about her story and a couple of products as well.
Hey, well, I'm so glad to be here with you guys. This is Lark Webb. I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, and I'm a mom. Oh, first, I'm a wife. I guess I should say that. I'm a mom of 5 grown children and the nana to 15 and one more on the way, grandchildren. And they're very beautiful and they're very gifted. I just have to say that so you'll know. 10 years ago, I was teaching 1st and 2nd grade at Metro Nashville schools, and I was happy with what I was doing. But one of my friends, Tanya, was one of my former teaching buddies, said, I'd like to invite you to hear more about Rodan and Fields. And so I said, yes. And then after I heard, I said, yes, because I needed to get started on some great skincare. I was 58 at the time, and I had not really taken care of my skin. I know that's crazy and scary, isn't it? So I jumped in. I wanted to get the products at a discount, and I wanted to, just get better skin. So I jumped in. But after I was in for a while, I was loving my results. I thought, if I work really hard, I could retire from classroom teaching when I'm 60. Okay, so that's what I did. I just set that goal. I ran for it. And in 2011, I was able to retire from 20 years of teaching. And on the last day, I said goodbye to my 2nd graders. I hopped on a plane. I went to Napa Valley, San Francisco for a 5-day, all expense paid luxury trip. And you may think that, wow, Metro Nashville Schools really treats their teachers well. And I would have to say, well, I shouldn't say it like that, because you'll report me, but I would say they did not give me that trip. But Dr. Katie Rodan and Dr. Kathy Fields gave me that opportunity to earn that trip to Napa Valley. So my first 5 days of retirement were luxurious and fabulous, 5 days I'll never forget. Well, then I came back to all this time freedom and time flexibility, and I was able to, work my job work my job around my life as opposed to working my life around my job, which I'd been doing for 20 years. So it was a wonderful feeling to have that flexibility. Now, you can realize that there, with all those grandchildren, there are a lot of kids to visit, and 3 of those 5 families don't live in Tennessee. So this job, this business, this opportunity gives me the time and the resources to go visit them where they are. We went to Orlando to visit that family in July. Just got back last night from Southern California, seeing that bunch of kiddos, with that little kiddo and her parents, and that one is the one that's coming in December. And then next month we'll be going to Virginia, where we'll watch my 2 oldest grandsons play football together, high school football. So we're excited to do that. So if I were teaching school, guess what? These things wouldn't happen. So I'm so thankful for the resources and the time to be able to do that. Well, objection that you might think of, and that I certainly thought of a time or two, and that was, what will my friends think? And, will I be bugging my friends? And so I thought about that a little bit, and then I went, well, wait a minute. I share all the time. You're hearing a theme here. I share good books, mostly. If you want to know about a children's book, ask me. I pretty much know the really great children's books and the authors. I love to share a good children's book. I also love to share a great movie. Most of them are Disney movies or Pixar, because that's what I go to these days. And then I love to share a good restaurant. And so why in the world would I not want to share a business that for 10 years has blessed me in so many ways? I feel like that my skin is so much better. And in fact, by the way, I'm going to my 50th high school reunion in 2 weeks. So I'm hoping to come home with the trophy that says, that I was the youngest looking one there. Good marketing if that goes well. So think about me in a couple of weeks in Ohio. But I just thought, why would I not want to share those things, or share the blessing of having my life on my own terms, or blessing other people? Because so many times people's lives are changed through this business, or even through the self-confidence they get from just using the product. So Morgan said, I'm a shares person. I'm not a salesperson. And that feels really good. So that leads me to the next part, and that is to share some of my favorites. And these are all products that are from the enhancement line. This one is called Active Hydration Serum, and it is a wonderful super hydrator. It's actually like silk. I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but I use it in the morning and I use it at night also. But you rub it on your face, and it just pulls the moisture from the air. I don't know if you can see how shiny that is, but it feels so good. And so that's what I use on my skin. It has glycerin in it. It has hyaluronic acid, and those are things that are so great for your skin. Also in that line is Bright Eye Complex, and this is a lightweight eye gel cream, and it actually brightens, and it helps the darkness of your eyes, the puffiness under your eyes, and those tired eyes. I've got a couple of these grandchildren that are like 2 and 3, and they're not good sleepers, and so their moms love that product, Bright Eye Complex. And then I often say, this is my favorite. This is Active Hydration Body Replenish, and I practiced this a little bit, and so my arms look really good now because I put this on my arms a couple of times. But it's for your body. If you've done the math, you realize that I'm 68. So when you get 68, your skin starts to get crepey. The first time I said crepey to Danielle, she said, "What is crepey?" And I said, "You're too young to know." But when you get this age, you want your skin not to be crepey, but you want it to be smooth and silky looking. And this feels like you've been to the spa. So those are 3 products that you will want to get, besides being on a regimen, which is the way to really get great skin. All right. Well, when I reflect on this 10 years, I think about the fact that now I have that time freedom that I talked about and the flexibility that I really didn't have teaching. I love that so much, but there are other things like personal development, which has been huge. I was used to talking to little bitties, and now I talk to big people, and I'm actually not shaking in my boots like I used to. And then the other thing is I get to have this wonderful family of my team and side partners that have enriched my life so much. So I hope that you will be interested in learning about the next step here of, this could be the life-changing opportunity you're looking for. All right, Danielle?
Thanks, Lark, so much. And I mean, I have to agree. Like, I had no idea when I was 23 years old, like, what this business was. But then on top of it, the community. I mean, these have been my lifelong friends. And I just feel like, I mean, it's the Lord that's brought us all together, which is really neat. So thanks for sharing all that, Lark. And then now I'm going to transition over to Jennifer. So we have Lark, who's been in the business for 10 years. And now Jennifer is one of our newest friends. And she's been in only for a couple months. So Jennifer, I'll pass it over to you.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm very happy to be here. I am one of the other Danielle's love story because I met her through Instagram. So that's pretty awesome. But first of all, so I'm Jennifer. I currently live in North Carolina, but I'm originally from Puerto Rico. I came here about 5 years ago, and so it has been definitely a big transition. Along the way, I kind of experienced a really traumatic event last year. And that event kind of left me a little bit with low self-confidence. Because of it, I had to take time off. And that time off meant no salary, no money. So my husband was the only one making money. And I had just recently gotten married. We had a house. And there were tons of bills that we needed to pay. So we got to this situation where we were, okay, we got to pay this, but we don't have money. So credit cards. Thank God for credit cards. So we started using that, and it got to a point where my husband and I kind of sat down and we were like, I really wish we could find an additional income without me sacrificing my healing and treatment process for me to get healthy and better to get back in my feet. And we also wanted to stop using credit cards. And so I kind of slowly got back into my PhD program because I'm a student too. And I started generating some money. However, that money wasn't enough. And we kind of moved from not using credit cards, but we still had bills. We had hospital bills. We have bills for pretty much everything. And so it seems like we were just like getting better, but not right there, because we still wanted to enjoy life. We still had a lot of dreams. We wanted to travel, but we were just very conflicted. We just lived month by month. It wasn't until April that I got the message on Instagram from Danielle. And honestly, I was like, this is too good to be true. But I'm in the moment where I'm like, I need something like this. So let me just schedule a call with her and see what's going on. After she told me, I was like, okay, this sounds amazing, but I don't have money. So it means I don't have money to invest in this business. And so that for me was my objection. It was kind of like, I really like it, I need it, but I don't think I can invest in this business. After searching, after doing a lot of research, and like you've heard by now, Ronan Fields is a big thing. And it's coming from dermatologists. It's coming from people that are smart, that created this business that has become the #1 skincare brand during the past 3 years. So it means something. It means that it works, and it means that it has some potential. So I decided, all right, I'll use the credit card again. Gosh. So I decided to go ahead and make the investment. Looking back, that investment was so little with the potential, with the money that you can make out of this business. Literally in a month, you can get that money back. And after that, you would just start making money. And I actually, thinking about it, I kind of not regret kind of not investing more, because the business has grown so far. I've only been in this business for 5 months, and I could really see the impact in my life. So much so that I was able to buy a car and say, you know what? I am from Dun & Fields is going to help me pay for that car. And it's going to help me pay for trips. It's going to help me pay for all those things that my husband and I weren't able to do a year ago. So Danielle and this team and this business has definitely been a blessing to my life. So I'm very, very happy that I got this opportunity. And so if your objection at some point is money, well, let that not be the reason, because you would invest a little bit of money for a lot, for a long-term business. Now, I want to talk to you about kind of one of my favorite products. I'm a little bit obsessed with this. So this is the Lash Boost Serum. And so if you at some point follow me on social media or whatever, or you get to know me, I always talk about this. Even if like in general, I'm not talking about the business, it just comes out. So the Lash Boost Serum is like a conditioning serum. So the way kind of it works, so you have like a little brush, and then you put it in your eyelashes once a day. So what this does, it creates longer, fuller, and darker lashes. And you will start seeing results as little as 6 weeks to 8 weeks. I was really impressed with my results. They were amazing, and I constantly receive compliments for my eyelashes because they're natural. They're just growing, they're healthy, and they look awesome. The other thing that kind of like the latest products that Dun & Fields just threw out there is the masks. Everybody loves some mask every here and there, and they created the perfect +1 to each regimen. So they created this 4 masks that you can add to each regimen. But what's amazing is that you don't have to just choose the mask that goes with that regimen. You can just use any mask and do what we call mix and match. So essentially, let's say that you have different skin concerns across your face. Let's say you have acne over here, you have, like me, I have like sun spots over here, and then sometimes I get a little bit of irritation on my cheeks. The good thing about this is I can choose the different mask and then target those specific areas and have like this like better skincare experience where you can add to your regimen and see better and faster results. So my 2 favorite ones are the reverse mask, the one that I use for my dark spots, and the Soothe mask, which is the one that makes your skin helps with your irritation, like Morgan mentioned, and it actually feels great because you can do this 2 to 3 times a week for 10 minutes, and that's it. And it works like amazing. So anyways, yeah, I love the business. Money cannot be a reason for you to say no to this, and you're gonna love the product, seriously.
Aw. Thanks, Jennifer. That was awesome. And really, like, to back her up on the money thing, we as women are very resourceful. So if there is something that we want to do and we see potential in it, don't let that hold you back. I mean, think about it in the way of, if you blow out 2 tires, you're going to find the money to get those 2 tires back on your car because you got things to do. So in the same way, I mean, I feel like this business is such an incredible opportunity that if that's the only thing holding you back, don't let it be, because there are always options, and all of us have figured out ways to make that happen, even me, because that was my big objection. So to tell you guys a little bit about my story, just to wrap it up, when I got started, I was single, 23, had just moved to Nashville, Tennessee, and taken my first job as an interior designer. So we all know first jobs don't pay that much, at least mine didn't. So Brenda, my friend, actually shared with me about these products because I still had acne issues. And so I was very reluctant because, hey, I was buying stuff from Walmart, didn't have the money to invest in these types of products. But once it came down to it, I realized I was just throwing money away on stuff that wasn't working. And I tried a lot of different things from the dermatologist that weren't consistently working. So finally I bit the bullet and I said, hey, I'll be that girl that returns it in 60 days if it doesn't work. But lo and behold, I used it consistently. I was patient. I gave it several months. And after about 4 to 5 months, I saw really good improvements in my skin. And so Brenda actually shared with me about the business. I had no idea anything about direct sales. I was like, I just got my first job. Like, why would I need another business? Like, I'm making money. But she was like, come to this get together, learn a little bit more about it. So I obliged her and went. And a lot of our friends there, they were sharing that, hey, I do this alongside my family. I do this alongside my full-time job. We're able to pay for traveling. We're able to pay off our debt. And now I'm able to stay at home. So in my mind, I was thinking, okay, if all of these women are doing this and they're obviously like way busier than me, all I have to take care of is myself. I should be able to do something like this. Like, there's really not a reason not to. And after looking into the business, like, everybody does, I realized, okay, these doctors have a lot of integrity. Like, they're world renowned, their name is on this, and they're doing this so that we can become entrepreneurs and change our lives. That's why it's called life-changing skincare. And so I didn't really have a good reason at that point to say no, even though I felt like I had no time. I didn't have the money to invest. But what did I do? I ended up babysitting for extra money, and I ended up doing some private interior design projects so that I could build up that investment to start my own business. And I was super scared to talk to people. I was afraid of what my family and friends were going to think. And so I was very hesitant at the beginning. But then what changed? I got engaged. And so my husband had student loan debt. And so I was like, all right, we got to get on this. Like, I got to make some money so we can pay this off and not have to pay this for years and years. And so that really lit the motivation in me to grow my business and to treat it like a business. And I will say, if you treat this like a business, it will pay you like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, it'll pay you like a hobby. And that's okay, because people work this in different ways. And so really, as our story progressed, this business allowed us to become debt-free. We paid off our student loan debt in 2 years, which probably would have taken us about 10 years if we did the minimum payments. And then when my first son was born, I was actually able to stay at home part-time and not have to be away from him. So that was a huge blessing. And that was because of this business. And that was the first time I really saw the value of residual income. The fact that I didn't work that whole first month when he was born and a newborn, because it's crazy. I still made the exact same paycheck because I had customers who were still ordering their products, and I had a team who was still working. It didn't have to revolve around me because I had built it up to that point. And then when my second son was born, I was actually go back a little bit. About the time that I found out I was pregnant, I was actually unexpectedly let go from my job. So twice in our first year of marriage, or first 5 years of marriage, I was unexpectedly let go from my job. And if we didn't have this business, it would have been tough, you guys. Like, we would have been really tight. So, the Lord knew, and he definitely prepared this as a thing to help us through those times and to use this as a testimony and as a way to help other people, because life happens to everybody and you just never know. We have to have a plan B, and it's never a bad idea to have multiple forms of investment. And really now, with where we're at, having 2 kids, I'm able to stay at home with them because of this business. And I'm so thankful for that. And even we were able to help my husband start his own business. So that's what it's brought to our lives. And obviously it's helped my skin a lot and just helped me with confidence. And so one other, I feel like struggle that people usually have. I didn't have this because, again, this was 6.5 years ago. So it was still kind of a fairly new company. But people nowadays probably think, man, I know a lot of people who do this business. It's really saturated, or I know, a ton of people who are already sharing it. But it's really not. And in the statistics that Euromonitor did, a company that's separate from Meridian Fields, they found in 2017 only 7% of the skincare market in the United States is by Rodan and Fields. So literally 93% of people don't use Rodan and Fields. And if you think you know way too many consultants, that's okay, because that doesn't mean that everybody you know is actually using that skincare. They may have heard about it, and that's probably to your advantage because they're familiar with it. They just haven't had the courage to try it yet. So it's almost like those seeds have been planted and watered for you. And then the last thing is, this is called network marketing. So the great thing is we have unlimited amounts of people who we can share this business with. It's not limited to just your family and friends who you know. You get to reconnect with people from high school, from your childhood, and then you get to find new people to share with. The girl in the Starbucks line. When I'm out and about with the boys, I can talk to people when I pick up my groceries. I can call people who I connect with on Instagram, like Jennifer, and you heard Morgan, connect with her on Facebook. So social media is a big way to do that. But even if you're not savvy at social media, you can still meet new people at the gym, anywhere you go. So that's the beauty of this business. So to wrap it up, the final products that I want to share with you guys, this is our best spent minute in anti-aging, and this is called our AMP MD roller, which is currently on special until the end of the month. So make sure you talk to your consultant and find out all about that. But this tool has tiny micro-sized stainless steel tips on it. And so basically what you're going to do is you're going to roll it in different directions on your skin, and it's really light. It doesn't hurt at all. It's just making like very small little openings in your skin. So that way, when you use our anti-aging serum, which is called the Intensive Renewing Serum, and the good thing is, even if the roller is meant to be used with the anti-aging regimen and the sun damage one, but if you have like acne or sensitive skin, you can still get anti-aging benefits with just using this capsule. And so this is like silky liquid goodness. And so after you roll your skin, you're going to open this serum, put it all over your face, and leave it on overnight. And so the ingredients are actually going to be able to penetrate deeper into your skin and be more effective. And the last thing that you can do, you can actually use that roller on your lips and then use our lip renewing serum. And this stuff feels amazing. It's going to help with any kind of anti-aging around your lips. And also when your lips get really dry and chapped, it'll help heal them a lot faster. So again, when you roll, you're allowing these ingredients to penetrate deeper and be more effective. So that pretty much covers everything, you guys, and I hope that this was super informative and helpful to you. It's just kind of, us sharing our hearts and how the Lord brought this business to all of us, how he brought us all together from literally all different walks of life, all different career paths, all different, stages of life, moms, grandmas, single entrepreneurs, everything. So just know that wherever you are in life, this can be a solution. And really, this is just a vehicle to get you where you want to be, a vehicle for change, whether that change is, hey, I want to pay off debt, or hey, I want to just pay for my kids' school tuition. Or if it's like, I'm tired of my job, like I want a new change in life. This can be that vehicle to get you there. And you don't have to be passionate about skincare by any means, but just know that this company has so much integrity. There's so much science that backs up these products. And honestly, you see all of us, our success stories from being in the business for 5 months to being in the business for 10 years. So make sure to connect with the consultant who invited you to this, ask them any questions, and we're always happy to help you. And we hope that we get to see you when you get started. So hope you guys all have a good night, and we will talk to you later. Bye.